Peace, 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 peace. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Are we back in here once again? All right, all right. We're going to give people a couple minutes to come in. Give everybody a shout out. What's going on, 305 Capricorn? What's up, Natasha? Sorry. What's up, Moon? Uh oh. There we go. So, Sharice, what's up, Isaiah? You need your natal chart reading? Not a problem. Just go ahead and send me an email, and we'll get that straightened out for you. Or you can check out the website and let me know which reading you prefer. So you can either go through the website or email me. Either way is good. 𝔑𝔢𝔬𝔳.com or 𝔑𝔢𝔬𝔳.com. So that would be no problem. But we will get into this in just a few seconds here. So y'all just let me know if the levels are good, if I need to turn the music down, or if everything is just fine. And after that, we'll go in. Sounds good? Okay. Okay, so recently we have entered into, I'll turn it down just a bit. For those in the know, we have entered into a Mercury retrograde. So currently we are dealing with a 5 planet retrograde as of now. So from that perspective, in my last couple videos, I did a video about Pluto retrograde. You know, there's a million videos about Mercury retrograde, so I didn't feel the need to speak about Mercury because that's pretty common. But what is less common are these outer planet retrogrades and what they really mean because they are outer energies versus inner energies. For those who may not know, whenever you are dealing with the inner planets are the planets from the Sun to Saturn. Those are, you can say, the physical realities. These are the planets that have physical manifestations. You can recognize their energies in real time. Whenever we are dealing with the outer planets or the outer energies, these energies are more subtle. They are less physical. So they are more, you can say, unconscious. They more so manifest energies from your unconscious and bring them forth. So from this perspective, it's not really a physical manifestation, more of a change of consciousness that is started from the unconscious. So the title of this video is called Neptune Retrograde. And as I will be speaking about the Neptune retrograde, because once Neptune goes retrograde, it will then be a 6 planet retrograde. From this perspective, we have all these energies happening at the same time. Let me actually go to the list just to make it a little more plain. So if you are looking at this list, if you look at the blue R, you see the blue glyphs on the left hand side, you see the glyphs for the planets, you see the degrees, you see the zodiac signs, and you see the times that they are in. You also see the houses, you see the dignities, you see the declination, and you see the latitude. If you look between the longitude and the house, you see there's a blue R symbol after certain planets. So from this perspective, if we look, now mind you, if you look at the date at the very top, the date says June 22nd, 2020 at 9:32. So this is basically when Neptune goes retrograde. So this will be happening within the next 2 days. So June 22nd at 9 p.m. This is Western time, so it may be 6 p.m. East Coast. So pretty much between 6 and 9 p.m. on June 22nd, Neptune goes retrograde, which will make a 6-planet retrograde official. This effect will last about 2 days. So about between 48 and 72 hours is the retrograde. So it's only going to be for a short amount of time. But once we understand more about what happens when Neptune goes retrograde, we can get a grander perspective as how this plays into the greater story at hand. So let me actually put on some more tunes and we'll go to the next level here. So I want to take my time and really go through these things because I know these things could get pretty complex. So I want to make sure that even those who may not be students of astrology can still comprehend and see these things manifesting in real time. Now also, mind you, this is a Eastern perspective. So all these degrees will be from an Eastern perspective. However, I will mention the Western perspective as well, just to make it clear for those who may not study Eastern astrology. I will speak from both perspectives. So there will be no stone left unturned. So let me go to the next song here and we'll go in. For those who may not know, Neptune, just to make it plain and clear, just to give you little keywords to resonate with the energy of Neptune. Neptune is the energy of alchemy. It is the planet of alchemy and it is the planet of artists. So Neptune rules over artist and alchemist, or the science and art of alchemy and the science and art of being able to crystallize art, which comes from a higher plane physically, which is what artists do. Whether you're painting a picture, whether you're creating music, anytime you are channeling a higher energy and crystallizing it in a physical form, that is called artistry. So alchemy and artistry are elements of the planet Neptune. Now, from this perspective, if we look at the degree of Neptune, Neptune is at the very bottom. If you look at the very bottom of this chart, the very last symbol you see is the symbol of Pluto, where you see the 25 degrees Sagittarius. Neptune is one step above, where we see 22 degrees Aquarius. We also see Neptune will be in the second house of Taurus at the time of this activation of the retrograde. So we will start from the perspective of the second house, as this will influence Neptune, because Neptune will bring its own influence, but Neptune will be influenced by the house that it is occupying at the time. So once Neptune activates, the energy that it will be influenced by is the energy of Taurus, as Taurus is the ruler of the second house. The second house represents movable resources, resources that we can move, such as money, finances, things of that nature. Because the fourth house of Cancer represents real estate or resources that do not move. So just to give it a perspective. So you have movable resources, then you have resources that do not move. So you have money from the second house versus real estate from the fourth house, just to give a comparison. So because Neptune will be in the second house of movable resources, Neptune being the energy of alchemy, being influenced by movable resources, as Taurus also represents values and traditions. In other words, if we were to compare this to the tarot, the card that will represent the energy of Taurus will be the Hierophant. If you go back to older tarot, before it was called the Hierophant, it was called the Pope. So for those who may not understand what the Hierophant is, the Hierophant is a fancy way of saying the Pope. So we all should be familiar with the energy of the Pope, just to give it a perspective. So what does this mean? The energy of the Hierophant or the energy of the Pope. These are the preservers of tradition. These are symbols of those, such as also the Dalai Lama, those types of leaders, symbols that represent the crystallization of tradition, the perfection of the tradition. The Dalai Lama will be the perfection of the Tibetan philosophy. The Pope will be the perfection of the Catholic philosophy, so on and so forth. Well, that's what they should inspire to, and that's what people look at them towards, or look towards them for those attributes. So the preserver of tradition, physical tradition, so physical feast and festivals, celebrations, national days, so on and so forth. Because we are dealing with a earth element, because Taurus is a earth element, we're dealing with the preservation of physical tradition. However, because Neptune is in retrograde, now this energy moves backwards. What does that mean? For those who have been paying attention to the media and what's been going on, a lot of statues are being pulled down that are connected to the Confederacy, slave owners, people that should not be celebrated anyway. So all around the country, as well as outside the country, you have statues being pulled down. This is what this energy represents. Because we are dealing with a retrograde energy, so instead of tradition being preserved, the tradition is being uprooted. Traditions being uprooted. But let's take this a step further, because Neptune will be occupying 22 degrees of Aquarius, which adds the third dimension to this equation. So we understand the house of Taurus being the preserver of tradition. Then we understand the energy of Neptune, the energy of artistry and alchemy. Neptune also represents the unconscious mind, or the collective unconscious, where we all come together collectively. So let me put on the next track and we'll take this a step further. Now, we see Neptune is in 22 degrees of Aquarius. The energy of Aquarius represents the like-minded community. So people who say that they are a part of communities, or better yet, societies, fraternities, lodges, things of this nature, where people who have like-minded philosophies merge together and share information. Aquarius is all about information. Aquarius is all about technology. So to add on to what we just said, now we have the energy of technology coming into the equation, which is how people are communicating to get these jobs done. People are utilizing social media to merge together, because all you have to do is see the imagery on social media, then you go to work. What do I mean? If you're strolling down Twitter, for example, and you see an American flag burning on a statue in your city and you are close by, because you get the notification straight to your phone. You get a notification straight to your phone. There's some shit going down right in your city and you're close by. You're pulling up because you want to know what's going on, and you're going to be recording as well. This is how it's happening. Everyone has their phones out recording, and everybody is coming together with one collective cause. So just imagine seeing that imagery on the internet. You go into the location and you see people gathering around trying to figure out how to take this statue down. And all this is occurring in real time. Someone has a brilliant idea. Let's get some rope and tie it together. Someone has that skill set. This is what is so interesting about the times, because if you have a group of 1,000 people, for example, you essentially have in that crowd someone who knows everything, or not someone who knows everything. You have a group of people who can potentially manifest any type of answer. What do I mean? If you ask a crowd of 1,000 people any question, somebody's going to know the answer. Just mathematically, just due to mathematics, somebody's going to know the answer. So if you have a crowd of people and they're all trying to figure out the same thing, how to bring this thing down, someone is going to have the necessary skill set to know how to get it done, because they master that particular field, because these are just regular people. So they have jobs, they do what they do anyway. They are masters of their craft, whatever their craft is. Whatever jobs or whatever business that they are already connected with, they are masters already. So someone has the brilliant idea. I know how to get this done, but I cannot do it by myself. I need the strength of a giant to do it the way I'm thinking. So this is where Aquarius comes in, because we also have 22 degrees in front of that Aquarius symbol. We know that the 22, if we pay attention to numerology, the 22 represents the master architect, the one who understands the mechanisms of the matrix. So someone understood the mechanisms of the matrix. I know exactly how to get this done, but I need assistance. I need a like-minded community to assist me, because I'm just one person. All this is happening instantaneously. All you have to do is see what's going on and you know what to do. This is the energy of Neptune. This is the energy of the collective unconscious. The collective unconscious, if to say it in a different way, it represents the Akashic records. The Akashic records. So what does that mean? The Akashic records, as we know, is where all the records of everyone, every world event, everything that has ever occurred in time is stored within the Akashic records. So if Neptune represents the collective unconscious, where we all come together, then that also represents we have the ability to easily pull out information from those records based on the power of a lot of people thinking the same thing at the same time. That is given the necessary energy to pull the answer out, and somehow, some way, the answer is solved in the statue or whatever it is. I'm just using statues as an example because this is what's going on at this current date. But whatever the energy may be, there is a instantaneous speed, because once we also look at that 22 and we reduce that 22 to a 4, we understand that that 4 represents the energy of Uranus. And we know Uranus is all about moving at light speed. Uranus is moving at. Okay, I think we're back on. Let's see. Yeah, we should be back on. Okay. He put this back on. Yeah. All right. Okay, we should be back. I think what happened was the phone just got a little too hot, too much energy coming through. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to end this stream and we will be right back. So I'll reconfigure, I'll switch phones, and we'll come right back. Because, yeah, we will have to check back in. So I'll restart everything and we'll come right back in. So before I go, I see Moon Spirit sent a $50 donation. Or, that may be the $50 for the service. You just let me know in the email. And I just want to shout you out before we leave, so I'll be checking right back in. So we'll end this here. Peace.